At about the ninth hour, Jesus cried out, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani?" which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Matthew 27:46 KJV. This powerful cry fulfills the prophecy in Psalm 22, one of many connections between that psalm and the events of the crucifixion. However, understanding in what way Jesus was forsaken by God is complex. It's clear that God approved of Jesus' mission. Jesus was completely innocent and did nothing to lose God's favor. As God's own Son, pure, blameless, and perfectly obedient, he was still deeply loved by the Father. Therefore, in no sense was he abandoned in those ways. Theologically, Jesus' cry points to a profound truth: the temporary separation between God the Son and God the Father. This moment of anguish was not just a cry of physical pain, but a deep spiritual agony. This separation was a necessary element of atonement, a divine plan to redeem humanity. Sin had created a chasm between God and humanity, a divide so vast that only a divine intervention could bridge it. The wages of sin is death, and God, in his perfect justice, could not simply overlook our transgressions. His holiness demanded a just response to sin. To bridge this chasm, a perfect and spotless sacrifice was needed, one that could satisfy the demands of divine justice. Jesus, the sinless Son of God, willingly took upon himself the sins of the world. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed earnestly, knowing the immense burden he was about to bear. In that moment on the cross, he bore the full weight of God's wrath against sin, experiencing the separation from the Father that sin caused. This act of ultimate love and sacrifice opened the way for humanity to be reconciled with God. Another possible reason for Jesus' cry, my God, why have you forsaken me?" could be that he was intentionally quoting Psalm 22, one to direct his listeners to that passage. By recalling this psalm, those who heard it would likely recognize the many fulfilled prophecies within it. Even in the midst of his suffering on the cross, Jesus was teaching the people, and once again demonstrating that he was the promised Messiah who fulfilled the Scriptures. Jesus' cry of dereliction is a pivotal moment in the Christian faith. It reminds us of the immense cost of our salvation, a price paid with the ultimate sacrifice. It demonstrates the depths of God's love for us, a love that transcends all understanding and reaches into the darkest corners of our lives. And it points to the hope of the resurrection, a hope that brings light to our darkest moments and assures us of a future beyond this life. Though Jesus experienced the agony of separation from the Father, it was temporary, a momentary affliction that led to eternal glory. His cry, "It is finished," signaled the completion of his atoning work. Death had been conquered. The tomb was empty, a testament to his victory over sin and death. Through his resurrection, we too have hope of eternal life and unbroken fellowship with God, a promise that sustains us through all trials and tribulations.